And then since then, I've been doing a lot of training with special operations, setting up their CBRN med, going into stabilization and some other things. So I'm still doing a lot of training as far as prolonged field care or tactical combat casualty care. I'm still involved in that. But in that process, I was approached by some engineers that had a good idea about building a battery-powered blood refrigerator. And so we got together, and that's kind of how we started Delta Development, was to build this battery-powered blood refrigerator. But when we first met, they were going to build a big blood refrigerator, and I just advised them maybe we should go with the smallest blood refrigerator you can do, because I know the guys need the blood like right now on missions, and not try to build this bigger one. So that's kind of how we got there, was like, hey, they need blood right now, so let's make the smallest one possible for the ODAs, the Rangers, the SEALs. All these guys can start carrying blood now because they're out there in the world doing real-world operations. So kind of that's my military career to how we got to the blood refrigerator here with Delta Development Team. Nice.
So, which leads me 100% into my next question, was in the age of the brand new tourniquet and a different packaging for gauze, why on earth did you pick, I want a small refrigerator?
Okay, good question. Well, one, there's a lot of tourniquets out there, so I don't think I can make a better tourniquet. We actually, when I first went to Afghanistan, we didn't even have the commercial tourniquet. I was teaching our team members how to use the old, cravat with the stick type deal. So that's where I learned how to do the tourniquet. But going to what drove me to get to this blood was, one, in 2005, it was identified that, we're stopping the bleed, but I was on a mission set that was in northeast Iraq, and we weren't getting any helos in for hours. Nobody was coming to get our guys for hours. I was going to have to hold on to somebody and then move them to a local hospital there in Solmania and continue my treatment until we could get someone in to evac them. So at that time, we determined, hey, we need to carry blood product. And this was in 2007. We need to carry blood product, so let's do a trial with plasma and see if we can even make this happen. So at that time, for about 6 months, I was carrying, so the gray line is in that transport storage temperature. It's okay. The gray line is if you use transport temperature times, then you can play with the temperature a little bit if you're talking about transport. But if you get into transport and get too far, then you just can't put it back into storage, right? You have to either use it or get rid of it. But your gray area is between storage temperature and transport temperature, because if you look at the temperatures, you're like, if we store it, it's okay at 1 to 6C. But if we transport, it's okay to be up to 10C. And see, that's the confusing part. That's where people get confused on that little gray area, that little rule of, that's what EMS kind of tries to do, is say that they're transporting blood. So that's how they try to get away with it. But the blood banks aren't having it. Their blood banks are like, you're not transporting from facility to facility. You're carrying it on an ambulance. So you need to maintain that storage temperature of the blood product. So the gray area is that comparing transport to storage temperature.
Okay. And how, I guess, those times definitely better than I do.
You can put blood in here all day and night. Some refrigerators that are out there that are battery powered are called medical refrigerators, and they go up to like an 8C, but ours is constant 4.5C throughout the life. As long as the battery's got power and it's plugged into the wall, it's a constant 4.5C